like they have this ability to be really ruthless when they need to be, or when they can be. And I think the Casey Crowley combination at halfback is really looking well balanced and just all over the pitch. But Hodnett, Barron only played 45, but he was dynamic. Tyburn, Coombs, Frisch getting a lot of touches. Yeah, they're in a good place. They're in a really good place. And look, they were disappointed not to win in Leinster, but I thought they backed. I thought it was a good performance in the Viva, and they backed it up again with another very good performance and full value. Like the game shouldn't have even been close. It should have been 40 points to 10. In my opinion, based on how dominant Munster were, except for them all.
Did want to ask you about that halfback pairing, because it feels like they're just so in tandem now and on the same page with everything really in terms of their thought process. Is it going to be harder than ever for Conor Murray to get back in and try and fight that he's been fighting for a few years now?
Yeah, I do think this is Casey's time. And Conor obviously still has a huge amount to add, but Casey's kind of got first run on it now, and the way they're playing, it'd be pretty harsh to leave him out. I mean, Conor has to get a chance, in fairness, and but I think that his role may become more, to help come on and close out games, and let Casey develop a partnership with Crowley. That's kind of how I see it at the moment.
The big standout was obviously Tom Hearn, who you also mentioned. And when you see him play at 6 now for the last 2 games, you're thinking, how did I not think of this before? And why didn't they do this earlier? Because he works so perfectly in the system. And I know he's someone you flagged for years now, really, your excitement around him, Birch. I feel like he's moving to the next level now and really pushing things on.
In fairness, you were the first to see him. I think we were getting frustrated under Johan that he wasn't getting picked. And then obviously, in fairness, there was times when he was fit, he didn't get picked. Then he had some injuries, but it's really nice to see that talent that we saw at under 20s level, and the brief glimpses from Munster coming out now. And there's 2 big games he's had back to back, and at 6, which we knew he was a good athlete. I wasn't sure he had the ability to play 6, but I think he has, and he has the ability to play 6 at a very high level. And with Peter Manny out, I can see why they went for that, because of the line-out options. But just his speed, his athleticism, his ability to kind of have big moments. Against Leinster, he was unbelievably abrasive, and wasn't taking a backward step, which was good. And then against Glasgow, just the way the game was more open, and you got to see him a little bit more kind of doing the flashier stuff, which he's obviously capable of doing. So the only question is he doesn't want, and I'm not saying the line of maul D was down to him, but Peter, when Peter's fit, will if you're picking a team, you're going to say, right, O'Mahony gives us a more proven line of defensive option, plus he's an absolute nuisance in the maul. So and I said I'm not blaming Tom Hearn for this at all, but as a collective, that pack, they're going to put doubts until they fix that. They're obviously the rest of their game was all brilliant, but that's just an area that they were very, very poor in, and very soft in. Actually, it was tactically poor, but also I suppose mentally soft. And it's not good viewing those 5. Actually, there were 6 mauls that did him a lot of damage. 5 of them led to tries. And
it's really jarring, and it's a big down note on what was a really good night. You mentioned there's a mentality element to it, definitely, and I think almost easing up when you've got a good lead and the game is kind of won, and that.